Hi, this is King of Review. Simplify 1.02 and there's a repeating bar on the 2. So if we expand this number, we get 1.02 and this 2 keeps repeating. So 2, 2, 2, and this keeps repeating here. This is a repeating decimal. So what I want to do is represent this repeating decimal as a series of terms which we will eventually add using the sum of an infinite geometric series equation. And this will represent 1.02 with the repeating bar simplified. So let's represent this repeating decimal with various terms. So you can see that this first portion here is not repeated. This is just 1.0. So this is the non-repeating part of this decimal. Now let's look at the repeating portion. We have this first 2. So how can we represent that 2? We can write 0.02. We're going to call this A1, which is the first repeating term. Now let's represent this second 2. This will be our A2 term, or our second term. How do we represent this second 2? This can be represented as 0.002. And this keeps going. Let's now represent this 2. This will be our third term. So A3 is equal to 0.0002. And this keeps going here until infinity, because this is an infinite geometric series. And what I want to do is add all of these up. So I'm going to get some number here for the sum. And to determine the sum, we'll use the equation for the sum of an infinite geometric series. This equation is S equals A1 over 1 minus R. Now this sum here, A1 over 1 minus R, represents this portion of the repeating decimal, the repeating portion of it. But we also must add this initial part that does not repeat, so plus 1.0. So this is what we'll do to add up this repeating decimal here. So we must first figure out what R is. So we have R equals, and to figure out R, we'll take a given term over its previous term. So you can choose whichever term you want for the numerator. I'm going to choose A2 over its previous term, which is A1. And this is equal to 0.002 over 0.02. And when you divide this out, you get 0.1. So the common ratio is 0.1. You could also use other terms. For instance, A3 over its previous term, which is A2. And if you divide those numbers out, you'll get the same common ratio, which is 0.1. So now we're ready to put this information into our equation here. The sum equals A1, which is this first term here, which is 0.02, over 1 minus R, which is 0.1, plus the non-repeating portion of this decimal, plus 1.0. This equals 0.02 over 0.9 plus 1.0. Next, I'm going to multiply this fraction portion here by 100 to get rid of the decimals. So I have 2 over 90 plus 1. And this is equal to 2 over 90 plus 90 over 90. And now we can add the fractions now that they have a common denominator. And this gives us 92 over 90. And when we simplify this, we get 46 over 45. And this is the answer here. So letter D is correct. Thanks for watching.